Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Many of you, really a lot of you on my the reasons why I quit video where I mentioned Gucci briefly, many of you have been asking me my opinion on the Gucci label as of now. 2016 under the director guidance of Alessandro Michele or Alessandro Di Michele, depending on how you Google him, you could either find the D or not the D in between Alessandro and Michele. What are my opinions? I have a couple. First of all, most of your concerns are connected to your wish to purchase Gucci, Gucci like bags or whatever accessories. And most of you have been asking me, will it hold its value in time as a good investment? Now, I never like to talk about fashion or style or design in terms of investment. You either love something or you don't. I'm not the type of person that falls in love with something to then just a season later fall out of love with it. I kind of look for pieces that really move me in a way, and even though I might not wear them as much 1 year after I've purchased them, they'll still have a really special place in my heart, and maybe in a couple of years, like let's say 5 years from then, I will rediscover them in my wardrobe or whatever, or in my archives, and it's going to be Christmas all over again, and I'm going to wear them all over again, and it's going to be fabulous and amazing all over again. But as far as investing a full amount of money, and we know that Gucci goes on sale twice a year at least, right? Christmas or after Christmas, and then summer sale, June or July. So, and their bags also go on sale. Maybe not the ones that they're trying to push as classics. The carryovers won't, but the seasonal items usually go on sale. So that's already something that to me sounds the alarm bells, because I wouldn't purchase it full price. Whether it be a piece that Tom Ford made for Gucci, that Giannini made for Gucci, or Alessandro Di Michele made for Gucci, whatever may it be. I mean, I'm going to talk about Tom Ford in a little bit, but for now, let's just stick to Alessandro Di Michele and what Gucci represents today. It has changed since Giannini left. Actually, how do we do this the best way? Let's read a little bit about who Alessandro Di Michele is to try to understand more what Gucci stands for today, or what he stands for. And I'm going to read from Wikipedia, so if you want, you could also check out Wikipedia. And by the time you watch this video, maybe some things might have changed. People might have added information to Alessandro Di Michele's profile or not. But let's see. Early education. So born in Rome in 1972, Alessandro studied at the prestigious Accademia di Costume e di Moda in Rome. Fashion career. Fendi. He forged his early design career inside Fendi, where he was senior accessories designer. So we have a senior accessories designer position at Fendi already. For Gucci, he was tapped by Tom Ford in 2002 and moved to Gucci's London-based design office. So he wasn't in Italy right away. He was in London from 2002. Now, that's a long time if you think about it. That's 14 years already. 14 years is a long time and a long and winding road to getting to the prime position in a fashion house like Gucci. Over his 12-year tenure inside the Gucci design studio, Alessandro held a variety of roles. In 2006, he was named Leather Goods Design Director and promoted in May 2011 as associate to then creative director Frida Giannini. Alessandro, in September 2014, took on the additional role of creative director of Richard Ginori, the fine Florentine porcelain brand acquired by Gucci in June 2013. He began in his position as leader of product offering and branding of Gucci, repositioning it for the luxury market with new collections and a new store design template. It was during the Gucci Men's Fall-Winter 2015-16 runway show where Alessandro first revealed a new direction for the house. His full vision for Gucci will emerge during the Women's Fall-Winter 15-16 runway show. Now, it's a long path to getting to, the creative director position of Gucci, but and I do believe in a way that what he is doing now for Gucci that this passage of time that has passed for him to finally sit on the throne of Gucci, I can see the enthusiasm of finally sitting on that throne. I can see that enthusiasm, but at the same time, I'm not saying that I believe that enthusiasm is doing the brand any good. My big concern with the design of Gucci at the moment is that I believe it to be completely and utterly outside of of where our society stands today. Politically speaking, socially speaking, Alessandro's designs for Gucci are kind of like a romanticized dream of the past. There's an infusion of the 70s there. There's a romanticism there. There's a touch of hippie there. There's bohemian. But everything is very rich and decadent and opulent. And I'm going to juxtapose this in contrast to the most opposite of opposite extremes, which would be Kanye West's Yeezy collection. Now, a lot of people criticize Kanye for what he does or what he doesn't do or what he could do, but we could love or hate his Yeezy apparel. But to me, he nailed the times. He nailed that the poverty we're in and the suffering and the pain and the social injustice that is happening. It's a beautiful mirror of our society today, especially Yeezy Season 1, the first collection. And I believe that it is much more relevant and much more present today rather than a vision of Gucci. I think Gucci's, I think Alessandro perhaps is totally isolated in his own bubble, which does never do a brand much good on a long term. Now you can imagine Gucci a couple of years ago under Giannini, under Frida's guidance. I mean, she's been there for a long time, but I never really cared for Gucci as she was the creative director of it. After Ford left, Gucci to me was just an obsolete brand with interesting classic bags, but nothing I would ever want to purchase. In fact, I never did, except a few pieces, which we'll get to in a minute. And so, of course, in contrast to what Frida Giannini was doing, when you see Gucci today, it's a breath of fresh air because it's a 360,000 degree spin and turn around from what Gucci was when Frida was there all of these years to now when Alessandro is there. Because we see whimsical pop aspects, we see something that is much, much more in your face and, how would you say it? I need my tea. Not just whimsical. I don't want to say Frida's pieces were not photogenic or editorial. They were, but this is more editorial. This is pop star Gucci. We're talking, something Madonna would wear. In fact, she was caught wearing it at airports all over the place, the Gucci bag with the kind of graffiti sprayed G's on them. But will it last? I don't think so. And unless Alessandro doesn't get it out of his system and finally stops celebrating the fact that he's sitting on the throne of this brand, it's definitely just, for us, it's shocking if you keep living in the darkness and all of a sudden you turn a light on, you see colors, you see so many different things and you're shocked, but they were always already there. It's just that you need to adjust, and then all of these colors and all this pop, after a certain while, isn't as flashy anymore and doesn't attract you anymore. It needs to evolve. And there's a potential risk there that it won't evolve. It's too tacky. And it's tacky in a way that, again, does not reflect the times we live in. It doesn't reflect really, it's a romantic vision. And I understand, I've spent a lot of time in Italy and I know how it is, especially in Rome. They have this tendency of layering materials and layering textures and loving the velvets and loving the silks and the brocades or the brocades and the jacquards. And, Etro is kind of also very famous for that. But we're talking something that cannot sustain itself because it will become so much. It will fill up our void of a pop Gucci pretty soon. And when that void is full or filled, we're going to want to move on. Something similar, unfortunately, as much as it hurts my heart to say it, happened to Moschino with Jeremy Scott. The beginning was a blast, amazing. We were missing that whimsicality that Franco Moschino had, that then was gone as he passed. And then Jeremy brought it back. But again, Jeremy's very American, very pop, very superficial in his analyzing analytical points of fashion. He can be political too, but not as much as Franco Moschino. Franco Moschino nailed it. I've just seen a couple of days ago a scarf online. Oh my God, incredible! Like a church mural, or actually a window, like a glass window, but it was all drawn. And this huge foulard showcases like a black Jesus and hearts all over the place. And the logo on the side says like "Defeat Racism." He was that blatant. He would, and the black Jesus was bleeding, and this is a foulard. This is something a person is buys in the Moschino boutique to wear. Jeremy would never do that. Franco did. He tackled with all of these topics that are considered taboo. He showed racism for what it is. He mentioned it. He even spelled it out in like Nazi German font. The Gothic German font. Like racism was spelled in that font on this scarf. And defeat racism in that term underneath a peace sign. We've lost that. There's this fear of being very honest in fashion that nowadays, there's a fear to be, revolutionary. There's a fear to speak your mind, to fight also for what is just. And Gucci is the most opposite of extremes at the moment. It goes beyond the superficial pop of Jeremy from Moschino. It goes in a direction where it wants to completely and utterly block off the world, block off politics. It wants to block off everything that is happening actually today. And it wants to live in its own realm of something that is unreal, that is not the past, it's not the future. It's a mix of a lot of different things, but it's not now. It's not 2016. And a lot of you might counter that by saying, oh, well, but his collection, just, Google his collections, Google the Spring Summer 17 collection, whether it be male or female, they're both, going in that same direction. You're going to notice that romanticism there, but you're going to notice a total detachment and disinterest. And this is the worst part of Gucci today, I think. The fact that it is not interested in what is going on in the world. And a lot of you might argue and say, but that is a political statement in itself as well. Yes, it is. My question to that is, however, how aware and conscious was that decision by Alessandro to actually go in that direction? Because whenever I see photos of him, he's dressed like a hippie from the 70s, long hair, weird jacquard jackets and suits, super shiny, silk, layer, like texture. We're going to get tired of it pretty soon. And for now it works because it's new, it's different from what we've seen Gucci in the past 10 years at least. And I don't want to say that it's all bad. I've seen stuff like this in the past. He mixes genres in a very beautiful way. I'll give him that. And it's very theatrical. It makes you think. It makes you look at the pieces, at the collections, and it's like watching a kind of a movie. It's beautiful. I'm not saying it's not. The tailoring is probably impeccable. I haven't tried the pieces yet. The colors are beautiful, very saturated. The laying of the materials is beautiful. It's all beautiful as a study of a brand. And I think it would be best If it were kept to, let's say, 2 to 3 seasons most, and then close the chapter and move on with something completely different, then it would remain like a solid rock of beauty. But I do have a sneaky suspicion from reading from what his past is, that this is the direction that he wants to go towards. It's not going to change, and that's what's going to be its ultimate demise on a long term run. It's just my 5 cents. Of course, you could totally disagree with me. I'm fine with that. This is a platform for conversation. This is not a dictatorship. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, of course. But I have to say there are elements within each collection till now that are beautiful, that I would want to have. I'm loving the sunglasses from the Spring-Summer 17 collection. Now, for those of you who don't know, who haven't seen my past videos, I have this resolution for 2017. I will stop purchasing new luxury goods. I want to help the environment, preserve the environment, but also make a political stance as far as luxury brands are concerned. They are hyping their prices, but they're pushing down the quality. And I just think that that ratio between quality and price is just way off balance, and I will not contribute to that sort of economy. I will not be putting money into these luxury brands' pockets for 2017. I will be buying used and vintage. So, of course, loving a pair of shades from Spring-Summer 17 from Moschino, from Gucci is going to be painful, because I have a veto. I've blocked myself for a year. So let's see. I do accept presents though, but I'm not going to spend my money on it. That's for sure. So as you can see, there are these details that you could find from collection to collection that are beautiful in themselves, that as an object isolated from the total look definitely works to me. But nothing really beats Tom Ford for Gucci. Gucci had that 90s power, sexuality, and business kind of attached to it. I'm wearing, by the way, Dolce Gabbana, the jeans brand, which existed for a very short period of time. It began in 1995 or 1996, and then it kind of, just a couple of years, and they kind of changed the name or cut it completely. The brand doesn't exist anymore, so this is a vintage piece. And I'm wearing friends of mine who's an artist, Andrea ZOMBIK, the ZOMBIK t-shirt with a mockery and a kind of a whimsical take on Anna Wintour. So thank you, Andy, for that. Also, what I wanted to say about Tom Ford, I have here an example of Gucci. This is the only Gucci that I own. Two sunglasses made during the Tom Ford era, and you're going to see immediately that it's so Tom Ford. First of all, these, they're like so high on the top here. I mean, I actually had really long hair back then when I bought these, so they kind of fit better with long hair. But anyway, gold frames, super decadent gold, and then, you know, whatever. They're called the fucker glasses. And then this little baby here is the most arrogant piece I've ever seen in my life. I'm loving them. First of all, look how amazing the box is inside with all the Gucci logos and here on the soft. Anyway, it's all like this decadent kind of bronzy gold. Look at these mofos. These are the most arrogant sunglasses I've ever seen in my life. I'm loving them. They're the tiniest thing. They literally just cover the pupil. So you just kind of have to look like that, and then you see immediately the eyes. They're useless. They're just like, I find them to be so douchebaggy. But they're, at the same time, they're so Gucci, Tom Ford era. You know what I mean? And that's something that I loved about Tom Ford, that he just went for that extreme power, I will dominate you type of allure and style. And that was also more political, in my personal opinion, to what Alessandro Michele is doing now, because, again, this isolation and this bubble, it is, in itself, it breeds this elite. And you become so branded, not just, you know, when you wear a Chanel bag and you have the double C somewhere, it's a branding of a status symbol. But I think Alessandro Michele stepped it up a notch. And you're not just branded with a brand. When you're wearing his stuff, you're branded with an entire isolation type of mentality of wanting to be in this elite of I don't give a fuck type of attitude to what is going on in the world today, but rather I'm just isolated, I don't want to hear, I don't want to see, I don't want to say anything type of bubble. And to me, that's not very productive. I believe in a fashion that communicates not just with the wearer, but I believe in a fashion that communicates with the times one lives in. And I do not feel that with Gucci now. No, I don't feel that balance. I would, and I probably will after my veto is gone or before the year ends, I might purchase something from Gucci, even like a detail, like an accessory, because I think the accessories in themselves, isolated from the rest of the collection, work pretty well. But as total look, I think it's too much. It's too much and too detached from what the world needs right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like this opinion on Gucci 2016 and Alessandro Michele as artistic director of Gucci. I wish him all the best and all the luck, and I wish him more than that to develop and grow in the best way possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Don't forget, no matter what sort of branding they try to push on you, be strong, have your individuality always intact, and never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.